Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to do a bit of it off camera. Excuse me, I was going to do it on camera, but then I realized I just wanted it done as quickly as possible. Still took me almost an hour, but the initial audit is done. Which means we're going to go ahead and run a script here real quick. And these are now up-to-date numbers. I'm also going to go ahead and cut off the guessing game a little bit earlier than usual. Even though we're in the outro and we have New Game Plus to cover, I feel like you have a pretty good vibe of where this is going. So, get your guesses in. Get until this song finishes. I had another nightmare about Starfield last night. And I want to stress this for a moment because I'm not joking or making it up. This one was nowhere near as bad as the last one. The last nightmare, you know, being a terrible streamer, my viewers hating me, that's awful, right? At least for me. Instead, what I had last night was a little bit more closer to, playing a bad game, which is not as bad. It's like this. We were playing Starfield, and there was a bug so that NPCs would be flagged to do the thing where, you know, they walk up and they're trying to interact with you. And you could do this in just about any BRPG, going back to Morrowind. If you see them on approach to you to initiate conversation, you can just back away and, like, force them to keep coming at you, you know? Well, there was a bug where that would initiate, and if they caught you and they started a conversation, the game would soft lock. And so, it was such a common bug that virtually every quest giver in every town started doing this. To the point where it became like this weird minefield. Like, as you're going through the town, there's like 5 or 6, you know, zombie NPCs, for lack of a better way to put it, who are on approach trying to soft lock your game. And you have to navigate and run through town. And I'm sitting here freaking out trying to like do the, you know, the super space jump with the glitch that Von Falkenstein told me, in order to dodge this crap, in order to get to the next quest, and my reward for every quest was another zombie. Now, as horrifying as that was, that's an interesting gameplay premise, isn't it? If it was being done deliberately. Like, you start off, and everyone's cool, but, like, the more you get in, the more you push through the game, the more the more dangerous the towns become, the more difficult it becomes to navigate, right? Like, just So first of all, thank you, Bragwin, very, very much. Bragwin put that towards the final boss fight, The Messenger, Dragon Quest XI, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. Reggie subbed. Thank you very, very much, Treasure Brock. I'll go ahead and jot that down. Well, obviously, in a hypothetical game, let's not make it soft lock the game. That's stupid. That's just a straight up bug. Star Trek Armada 2. And 2 other things, because remember you can pick 3 things, Regibrock. And Spartan J42. Thank you, Spartan. Very much as always. Yeah, no, exactly, Noctis. It just kills you. And that will go towards the homeworld block. Dead Space R. And Dealer's Choice. Thank you. Oh yeah, by the way, the song's over, so you have run out of time to guess. So I'm locking down the guessing game. What do I think of all that? Oh man, it's so revealed, Tara. Like, there's so much information that was shared. I can possibly talk about all of it. Maybe you could share all the incredible information which was shared, because it's just so much, you know. I couldn't possibly. Like, I'm so aware of it, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's because Lola Moss put a comma. There we go, that's fixed. There we go. I could tell you. So Pit Kiss, I'm sorry, I have to share this. I haven't seen anything. I didn't even realize there was any info other than the pictures you linked. And I mean, pictures are cool, but like, you know, it's a remaster. Of course, they're going to touch up the graphics. Although, honestly, I think Age of Mythology sounds, or looks just fine just now, but that's my opinion. Then again, I think Warcraft 3 looks fine now. So, Pit Kiss guessed 75. Melkor Blade guessed 5. Those 2 are the only people who have guessed a number above 0. The next would be negative 0.01 with Dragon Player, followed immediately by Panka with a negative 35. And then it just kind of goes down from there. All right. So let's... No, I saw that the... Oh, shoot, where was it? Not close the window. The lowest guess there, which was Ultra Magnus, was negative 315. Which would be impressive if it managed it. Lord knows we have certainly been managing some stuff like that. But, for example, that would actually surpass the worst if it managed that. Secret of the Stars is negative 312. There's your floor right now. The game really is trying. It is trying so hard. Oh, I haven't done the math lately, but I believe we are now currently in the 5th longest run we've ever done that is not an MMO. And we're not done yet. You know what's really, really funny? Can anyone tell me the 2nd longest run we've ever done? The 2nd longest run we've ever done that is not... So in other words, not Baldur's Gate 3. And that is not an MMO. Can anyone tell me which game it is? Just guess, real quick. Witcher 3 isn't a current stream, so I'm afraid not. We haven't streamed Fallout 3, so that's not available. StarCraft 2 is actually pretty high up there, and also makes this exact same point for me, but no. We have passed Dragon Age Inquisition. I think that would be really, really appropriate, Blade 12, I agree. Elden Ring is actually very, very high up there. It was an 80-something hour game. I'm sorry. I didn't even see it, Lord Harmon. Give me a second. But no. The answer is actually Pokemon Shield. The reason I mentioned that is because Pokemon Shield, and I just want to make the point as thoroughly as I possibly can here. Pokemon Shield was very long with the DLC. It is a 93.42 hour game. That's really goddamn long. And again, second longest game we've ever covered that is not an MMO. But I never got tired of it. I was still enjoying myself. Like the whole way through. And that is the distinction. Yeah, the Pokemon game loop is strong, and Shield was really solid on the gameplay axis. Like, really solid. In fact, as of this moment, it is the best gameplay Pokemon game I have played, keeping in mind we haven't played Arceus or Violet. And yeah, it scored a 94, which is well above average for a 93-hour game. I just bring this up because even though that game is longer than this one is longer than that one. If you catch my meaning. All right. Let's do this. Oh, actually, one last thing. Sorry. Since we're in the final dungeon, someone in the comments, Guy in the comments, said if we do... Hang on, let's get rid of that. Yeah, so many people have been popping into stream saying, is this our longest stream ever? No. When people were asking that, it wasn't even in the top 5 longest streams ever. It just feels that long. ED2. Hey! The weather warning has been gone. Thank you very much, Guy, for getting rid of the thing that has been stuck on my thing for a huge portion of the game. All right, let's go. So, hi.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
What?
Why would anything go wrong? Shouldn't we...
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Really, game? Yeah, so part of the problem is we've had several 2-hour streams. We've even had a 20-minute stream because I've been sick. And so I've been doing the insane concept of actually trying to take care of myself, taking naps, taking time for myself, etc. So yes, this playthrough is kind of artificially inflated. I should probably mention, and I've talked about this before, so for those of you who never heard me, sorry, this is a bit of an FYI for those of you who haven't heard this. I keep pretty careful track of how much time I spend not playing the game versus playing the game, both on and off camera. Hi, Drew and Grayman. So, I actually, if I just look at the Steam number, then I can say, it's 81 hours or whatever the Steam number says right now. But that's not accurate. I like to be as close to accurate as possible. Obviously, true accuracy is impossible, but the fact that the game has forced me to stop a few times, and I have definitely gotten a couple of rants in, is something that I've actually removed from the total time. But I have also added time that has been done off camera, because I have been doing off-camera work in this game too. Make sense? I do that all the time. That's normal. I just mentioned it because not everyone knows that. So, here we are. This is Starfield. It's looking decent. I've seen better caves here before. We have a cutting beam. I guess we're a miner or something like that. Okay, I guess we'll walk up here. Okay. Okay, so what was the point of that then? I thought you were going to do something clever with that game.
I am taking damage.
Not just a weird loading screen for the next gauntlet. Like, I was actually interested, legitimately interested for a few seconds. I was with you. I was with you, game. Did the game just get so much louder? Did you reset my audio options? No, music's still. We're going to turn this down for a little bit. Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm yelling. Like I am yelling. It's hard to tell, because I can't hear anything.
Okay, that hurt. Had worse.
I don't want to pull semantics into this, but define pissed for me, Euro. Because I've lost my temper on camera before, to my dismay. But as I've talked about a few times, losing my temper is really different from actually being angry at something, you know? Because if all you're defining that as me losing my temper, then no.
Bad choice.
I've had worse games than this for that. Now, is this the game that I have reviewed after Oblivion that has legitimately angered me the most? Yes. For the record, I have in fact reviewed Mass Effect 3 under the current system, which is the other big one. Now, that's funny. So, you're saying I got quite stinky yesterday. Odd descriptor, but, you know, I'll take it. Here's the thing. That wasn't me losing my temper. In fact, funny fact, I haven't lost my temper on camera in quite a while. It's very rare. It's the kind of thing that I try to avoid quite a bit. Allow me to explain what that means while I'm cleaning up this stupid comment encounter. I talked about this during the tour run, because sometimes you'll hear me go, "Ah, you suck and you're terrible." Most of that is honestly kind of played up a little bit. It's me venting. It's me trying to relax a little bit by healthily venting at a game that kind of sucks, you know? And I do that semi-frequently. But that's not me being angry or losing my temper. That's like the surface level stuff, right? Then we have losing my temper. Now, the best way to describe it, and I know this is mostly an internal thing, but it's still very true, is that if I lose my temper, I don't mean it. So if I say something, or if I feel something while losing my temper, that's not something I legitimately feel. That is something that is fake, or forced, or false. For example, if I was to look at, of course Mr. Red isn't here for me to make them. If I was to look at Rax, say, "God damn it, Rax, what is wrong with your eyes?" I'm sorry, that's a weird thing to pick on. It's just the first thing that came to mind. I don't mean that. Oh, Mr. Red's there. Perfect. Mr. Red, God damn it, what's wrong with your... Head-On is just such a garbage game, and I hate it, right? I don't...
I jumped off the cliffs of a planet.
Shut up. I don't mean that, right? And generally speaking, what I will do, and by generally speaking, I mean like 100% of the time, is I will go back and then I will apologize because I lost my temper. I didn't mean that. I'm not actually angry at Head-On. I'm not actually angry at Rax's eyes. I just lost my temper, right? Make sense? So that's different. That's just, that's when that spark goes off before your brain engages. Now, if I get angry, like actually angry at a game, and that has happened, that is very different. That is extraordinarily different of a vibe and a tone and a feeling, because first and foremost, I actually mean what I am feeling when I get actually angry at a game. Generally speaking, it's really obvious when I am actually angry at a game, because it usually takes me a moment to sit and process it, and I get quiet. I've said this before, but I can prove this. There's actually video evidence of this. I can even point you to a specific example, because it's even on the highlight reel of the game in question. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. In the San Andreas run, I was doing the goddamn zero missions. And those are bad missions, to be very, very clear. But I was mostly doing the venting thing, right? Like, this sucks, and you're dumb, and you're stupid, and you deserve to die, and all that stuff, right? The usual. And then there was like a screw-up, and then I failed the mission, and then I just went quiet for like 10 solid seconds. That's anger. That was me legitimately angry at the game. Do I have to go up? No, I guess I can just go this way. There are other examples of that. But Starfield,
You feel that slight vibration?
I'm going to stab you
It
so
changes
hard.
ever so often.
Starfield has been a lot of venting. Oh my god! Starfield has been a lot of venting. Trying to keep the tone high, trying to keep this stream entertaining. Trying to seethe out all that anger into something at least a little bit comical so you can have a laugh at how much I'm losing my mind playing this game. But I want to be really clear about this. This game has actually angered me. Like, no jokes, no vents, no memes. This game has legitimately angered me.
Let's talk. When you have time, of course.
Dude, I'm about to leave the universe. Piss off. When did I first notice it? God, I'm not even sure. I think it was when I finally decided to pull the trigger on not doing the secondary quests. I think. Oh, and to answer you, Rex, I do fully intend to explain why New Game Plus will probably get a negative or two in this particular game. I am kind of hoping I'll reach that point quickly enough so that I can explain it quickly. Oh, yep. Time to enter another anomaly. Hang on. Now what?
We have visitors! Vardek, you didn't tell me we have visitors.
We have visitors.
Welcome. What's mine is yours. Well, no, it's still mine, but you get what I mean.
Game. Just because repetition can work, I'm still sorry I stole the artifact from you, Petrov. It really was for science.
Now, how am I supposed to take a strange comment like that? Is this some kind of... You don't deserve the final artifact. This life you've led, you're nothing but a thief, an opportunist, a liar.
I would have gladly paid you for the artifact if you had let me.
It's more than credits that the Unity will demand of you. You think you have a right to the infinite? You're nothing! Guards!
You have no idea what you're up against.
Well, I didn't kill you last time, but let's rectify that.
Get up! Get up!
Everyone, fall back!
Hey, Star Wars. Actually, lots of reasons, Yura. I'm sorry, hold on. But the most important reason of all is infinite ammo. This and melee weapons are the only infinite ammo weapons in the game. And it does work. It is possible to make this work, as I've shown. So yeah, I just, you know, if I didn't already have, 20 VODs worth of thumbnail, anyways. Yeah, by the way, black licorice juice. Oh.
Come on, Rook. Come on. You can make it. Barely stepped on the juryman's road with us. Can't see another soul off to the void so soon. No. No. I'll pour one out to the blackest sea for you, Rook.
Vladimir, I know you have no, That was actually pretty touching. Thanks, Vladimir.
What the? Crix's ghost? What kind of cruelty is this? This some starborn trick? Come to mock me before you twist a blade?
I always did wonder if I could take you one on. We could just attack Vladimir here. Vladimir, the artifacts point to a multiverse, a place called the Unity.
Multiple universes? You're a visitor jumping through the gates of space and time?
I don't care who died. It's nothing next to the power we uncover. The power to dash forward a couple of feet. Only a couple of times, though. Then you have to take a settle. I'd give all the artifacts to have my friend back.
We meet minds there. Never tell you the cost, do they? Well, ghost from the other side. I'll keep what you said rolling around in my head for a spell. But for now, wouldn't mind if you gave me a bit. I just lost a friend.
But, okay. Can I loot myself? Aw. Right, I need to look at the donation. God damn. This game. I blame Lord Harrimont. It's all his fault. If he had been a progressive like Balin... Alright, Either way, no, you cannot split it like that, Lord Harrimont. However, let's see here. That's right. The power to temporarily generate oxygen. For a few seconds, obviously. So we'll do this, and then we'll do Disgaea, and then we'll do Legend of Spyro Trilogy, and then we'll do Mr. Red. Speaking of which, thank you for being part of the show, Mr. Red. Mr. Reds is going towards Disgaea. Ratchet and Clink. And Trails Cross Duology. There we go. Don't bother. Don't worry about it, Lord Harrimont. It's all covered. And thank you very, very much for the donation, Lord Harrimont. And for not trying to game the system. I am actually really happy no one's been trying to do that, because it is technically a way to game the system. Although if people started doing that, I'd probably just start invalidating their donations. But thank you for not doing that. I appreciate not having to be a dick. Yeah, someone asked earlier, Oh, God. It was something about comfort? If I could play a game and be comfortable? I'm sorry, who asked that? Do you remember? Does someone remember? Why can't I move? The answer is, of course, because they don't want me to leave the elevator yet. Do you remember what your question was, Lord Aramont? Because then, Yura says, would I rather play Lotro than this? Yes. And I am not a big fan of Lotro.
Hey, stranger. Let's chat sometime, okay?
No, I'm good, thanks. This is definitely not a pre-final boss kind of a situation here. Well, plus I can just roll a tank and run through everything in Lotro. Guardian, probably. I technically enjoyed Runekeeper better, but Runekeeper had the gigantic asterisk of hope you brought a group, because soloing on a Runekeeper sucked. Okay, so if I have to play a game while I'm sick, I have to. There's someone that's just holding a gun right there, and their name is Yura, and they're like, play the game, and I'm like, God, no, please, you don't have to do this, and Yura's like, play the game or die, and then they accidentally twitch, and they shoot me, and now there's just blood all over my Mega Man thing. Why would you smear Mega Man with my brain blood? So would I prefer a game like this or have a comfort game? Truth be told, I'd kind of rather have a game like this. It's a bit of a challenge to try and distance my own bad mood from the review of the game. But at the same time, I'm pretty practiced at that at this point in my life. So I would rather not feel like this and play FF6 because that's just the way I tend to be. You know what I mean? That's just my overall approach. If I have a really, really bad day, or a really, really bad event that's happening, or if I'm traumatized, or I'm depressed, or, you know, any of that horrible stuff. Yeah, exactly. If I'm going through a truly bad time, physically or mentally or emotionally, I tend to avoid games I like. I tend to avoid movies I like. I got other stuff to do, right? And I try to, to not taint it, as Rax just mentioned. The other benefit of that, other than the obvious, is the moment I feel better, then I can play something good. It'll be even better. So Yura said something interesting. Would I have vetoed this in retrospect? No. Let me be fundamentally clear. This was not a waste of my time, as absolutely bizarre as that sounds. The game's a waste of my time, but the review isn't. The stream isn't. This has been one of the more valuable streams I have done in a long time. This stream has more or less been exactly what I have always expected the Ride to Hell Retribution stream to be. And yes, that is an insult. This is historically significant, and it is a wonderful textbook on how not to make a video game. Yeah, we have done so much discussion on so many levels of narrative design and gameplay design at pretty much every single corner of game design. We have hit connective systems, we have hit itemization, we have hit in-game economy, we have hit domino effect, we have hit individual elements of traversal, we have hit encounter design, we have hit enemy design. We have gone so far down the rabbit hole of design. And this, yeah, I'm going to remember these lessons for a long time. And when we get to the BRPG block, it's going to be a fascinating contrast.
I'm fine. Is that all? It'll heal. Ah, come on.
No, we didn't have God mode on. They just aren't doing damage to us. Oh, because they're using our weapon. And our weapon does so little damage, it can't get through our armor. The only reason we're doing damage is because of the burn dot. That is hysterical. This is probably a really hard fight if you walk into it with a really good weapon. Look at this. Look at this.
Fine, let's go. This never gets old.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Star Wars. And I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Miranda. That is so funny. Hi.
Face yourself. Time and space full.
Who are these people we're fighting, anyways? Like, we're just fighting random Starboard. This is just such a nothing burger rando gauntlet of Starborn. Like, there's no design here. It's just, alright, here's a Starborn who has this power. And here's another Starborn who has this. Yeah, as I say, compare and contrast this to, I don't know, the first 1 minute of Doom Eternal. The first encounter of that entire game is better designed than the last encounter of this one.
Well, here we are, ready to kill each other for the artifacts. As always. I'm sorry it's come to this.
The universe is better off without both of you idiots.
Oh, I'm wounded. Who controls the artifacts is the only thing that matters. I'm sorry.
Did someone order extra Barrett?
Well, let's kill Sarah. Oh my god, we can finally kill Sarah.
Quit it! Ow, ow, ow! Where? I swear they were just here.
Find my patience.
Twinsies! Incoming!
Enough!
Your eternity ends! This part.
Here's an old favorite.
To do this all.
Yeah, I kind of get what they're going for here. I'm not on board for it. As I say, Half-Life did pretty much this exact same concept a lot better. Someone remind me when Half-Life came out? You know, Half-Life 1. 1998. Oops, sorry, there.
Firing on target. Time
And you can tell the moment I burned through her shield, because her health just starts going away.
Let's get them.
This isn't worth it!
Yeah, this is making this more annoying than cool. It's a damn shame, because this is a neat concept. I'll actually give you that, game. It is staying on theme. Final battle is a load screen. I feel like the frequency is tied to health, but I could be wrong.
Until we meet again.
Congrats, Spartan.
Well, it's done. I wish it didn't have to come to this. We could have learned so much, but no. What a waste. Dusty. Dusty. Let's talk. Take a break. Let's chat.
Okay, so hard save. Yeah, I got physics there. I'm getting physics again. Oh my god. Physics! Yeah! Okay, fine, game. Are you done? Can I? Yep, okay, cool. Same things we've been saying since literally the beginning of the game. Optional. Talk to your friends before you leave. You don't get to keep any equipment through New Game Plus. Wow. Now, sorry, Act. Thank you very, very much for the sub. As always. I will put X towards... give me a moment, please. Oh, trust me, we haven't gotten to the big thing, and I beg your indulgence, Rax. Because there's one last big screw you with the New Game Plus, which we will talk about. I swear to God, we'll talk about it. Okay, so X are going towards Legend of Spyro Trilogy, Futurama, Streaminations, Dead Rising 1, and Mr. Reds are going towards Undertale Yellow, Entropy 02, and Kaiserreich. Thank you both of you very, very much. Always. Now, in the interest of getting on with it, we're not going to talk to our friends. We're just going to go. I should mention that when you do Game Plus, it is a world state reset. So quest flags, items, equipment, gear,
Hey, Dusty.
outposts,
If you're ever
ships.
thinking to yourself,
It's an
I
etch-a-sketch.
should really listen to Barrett's dulcet voice right now. Then instead of dreaming about me, stop by and say hello, okay?
Money is technically an item in these games, but yes, Dream Whisper, you are, of course, quite correct. Oh man, I miss tomato juice, especially with a bit of salt or pepper. Ooh, peppered tomatoes. Ugh. Yeah, so repair the ship. It's actually random, Jatoho. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. The state of the world can be randomized in specific ways in a New Game Plus. Damn it. I was really hoping for Todd Howard. I stand by... I swore yesterday that I would give a plus if the game let us talk to Todd Howard here. And I meant it. That would be funny. But no, it's just us.
You made it. I hope you're enjoying the view. I never get tired of staring at it. Eternity.
So, this is the Unity. I was expecting... No, are you God?
It's natural that your mind would go there. And it's not a simple question to answer. You stand now at the very center of space and time. Center being the best word to grant you understanding, but still not entirely accurate. The Unity is what was, what is, and what shall be. It is nowhere and everywhere. Nothing and everything.
So, completely pointless?
It is the Unity. Any other meaning is entirely up to you. All of you.
Okay, so you're seriously telling me that the only dialogue option that progresses it is saying that you're me?
A thought occurs. Can anyone ever truly experience reality outside of oneself? All of time and space filters through a singular perspective. I am as much you as you are a part of everything. All points connect to here. When a star is born or dies, its existence beats through the heart of this place. The Unity. I have seen all you are, have been, and could be. Do you feel like you've lived a good life? Is there anything you regret?
I mean, I have been playing this game.
That's good. You will need that clarity for what comes next. In order to become Starborn, you must give the universe one last thing. Yourself. That intangible part of you. That something that makes you unique amongst the infinite will explode like a supernova. A part of you will fuse with the essence of this universe, while another part leaves it behind forever. Do you understand what I mean? This one final leap will change this universe forever, even as you leave it behind.
So, you're saying it's like some kind of new game plus?
Much like the death of a star creates new kinds of matter, so will the part of your being become fused with the Unity itself. That part is what becomes Starborn and crosses into the multiverse. Through your eyes, it will be as if waking up from a dream. Walk into the gate of light, and you will become Starborn. Everything will vanish, and you will awaken somewhere else.
I would also give this game a genuine plus to story if we walk in and at New Game Pluses and then we see the intro to Skyrim. I am not joking. That would be awesome.
But that isn't your only potential destiny. You could turn around, walk away from the Unity until the stars fade away, and you will wake up on your own ship, in your universe. You could live out the life you have. I have enjoyed speaking to you once again. All of you. Every version that is here in the Unity, right now. Go out into the stars.
So, the options are end the game or keep playing the game.
As you consider stepping towards infinity, I offer you a glimpse into what will happen to the universe you may be leaving. as the essence of who you are is spread throughout space and time.
I can't even draw my weapon, Shadow Machine. I can barely move. I'm stuck at, like, walk speed. Is there dialogue?
By defeating both the hunter and the emissary, the path to the unity in this universe is left for the people of the settled systems to discover on their own, uninterrupted by powerful Starborn.
Is anyone else distracted by the low frame rate of some of the background? Like, some of it's fine, and then some of it's like chop, chop, chop. Like, look at the upper left. There's a good example of it. Do you see that? Chop, 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 chop. Like, it looks like they've got several layers of a skybox going on, and some of those layers are just much, much less frame rate.
Ron Hope's downfall proves once again that the Freestar Rangers put justice above petty power plays and politics. A sense of commitment to the common good grows throughout the Freestar Collective.
You know,
Heroism and noble sacrifice increase.
You know, to make my final point that this is a Fallout game, this is a Fallout game. This is straight up the slides at the end of a Fallout game. Here's the results of your choices about the things we bothered to track during the course of this playthrough. Now, thing is, this is a crap Fallout game, because even in pretty much every Fallout game, including 3, the one everyone craps on, they keep track of a fairly decent number of things you could do in that game. And yet, here it's what, 5 things? In fact, hang on. It is, in fact, 6, counting the decision on the MSQ.
The Constellation membership who stays behind will in time publish their data about the discovery of the artifacts, the Starborn, and the Unity. Space exploration across the settled systems is given new life as people search for hope out there in the stars.
So, the 4 factions and the 2 MSQs, Makamano. I'm not even sure which choice this is, honestly. Maybe it's just who survived? I don't know.
The resurrection of the Asili species leads to a massive reduction in terramorph attacks across the settled systems. At the same time, the need to spread the Asilis far and wide increases cooperation between all the factions. Belief in the UC as the diplomatic leader of the settled systems grows.
That would be even worse, Diddy. And that's actually an interesting concept, isn't it? Because it's entirely possible that because they're loading these live in this cell, they can't load all your choices. So instead of the slide reels, which are very, very, very low tech, they're very low intensity, so they cap how many things they keep track of, right? They cap how many. Oh my god, I'm saying that wrong. They cap how many options can show up here. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, there's probably a priority order, almost assuredly. You'll notice all the 4 factions are here.
Ryujin Industries dismantles the internal neuroamp and keeps its existence a secret. The company is successful, but quieter. Every new operative that is hired hears the story of your rise through the corporate ladder and looks to emulate your success.
And speaking of factions, last one.
Your work with UC SysDef against the Crimson Fleet is a triumph of law over greed. The UC establishes greater security throughout the settled systems. Travelers throughout the stars will be safer.
Also, and this is a minor complaint, but they're just the actors loaded in. So all of the default scripts are still loaded in, which means they all acknowledge that I'm here, which just feels kind of weird. Honestly, I don't know. It's just... Yeah, it's cheap. The good word. It feels cheap. Can I even talk to you?
Once you are reborn, there is no going back.
Yeah, okay. Yes, there is. I've got save files.
Although you leave this universe behind, a new universe awaits you. Who will you be in this one? What choices will you make?
Yes, I've played No Man's Sky. Thanks, Todd. I've also played Spore. Why is this so loud? Oh, I'm definitely feeling things in my ears. God, Caps Mage is back. Yeah, the neighbors heard it through my headphones. So now we're part of the universe. Yeah, okay, come on. Hey, you're finally awake. You're gonna let me skip this, right? Because you're gonna let me skip this, right? Right? There it goes. God, I was hitting buttons that entire time. It looks like we had to load the skip button. Okay, so here's what you get if you New Game Plus. You were a Starborn. Yay. You get one of their dumb ships. By the way, these ships kind of suck. There's an asterisk there. Hold on to that. We get this dumb suit. It's actually not that bad, but, you know. I've got to find the specific thing, because there's a specific thing you need to see. Okay, you find a great suit. And now we have a quest to go to the lodge. Not that I'm aware of, Colgrim. I am wrong. There you go. Here's our ship for the rest of the game. That's cool. Now hold on. Yeah, so we're no longer we're not in the mine. We just go straight to the lodge. Obs.
Unregistered starship. We're detecting... Well, it's what we're not detecting that's an issue. What's powering that thing? You know what? Just hold still while we do the contraband check. Scan complete. You are clear to land in New Atlantis.
There are several small little variances throughout the game because we are Starborn. I want to stress that word for a second. Small variances. Oh yeah, we just get an alien ship from the Unity? No, they absolutely do not justify New Game Plus. As you can already see, we don't keep our inventory. That'll... So yeah, that's cool. No plot changes whatsoever. It's all little stuff like the dialogue you just heard. So yeah, the cutting beam is gone. In fact, you notice we have no weapons at all. And also no money, just in case that wasn't obvious. We do keep our talents, so we could get a new cutting beam and go straight to that. I believe research carries over too, and our powers carry over. Now, there's a couple of asterisks here we haven't actually gotten into yet. So where's my hold? Do I have a hold? God, hang on. Research unlocks crafting recipes, put very, very simply. Okay, so there's our hold. We've got... Now, here's the really strange part. Have you noticed how I've mentioned several times the scaling's a little off, and the itemization's a little bit off? The crafting's kind of weird, and the balancing is kind of weird, and the whole game has felt off. Now, I'm not sure where it indicates it. I was actually hoping we would see it immediately. It looks like we're going to have to work a little bit out of this.
What? So, this ship of yours, does it take...
Sure, have at.
We're still on the frontier. It's not listing it. Does it not even tell you? By the way, obviously you can't do anything with the ship. Is it not telling you? Is this more information that's not in-game? Lord knows there's been a lot of that in this game. One moment, please. It doesn't seem to be indicating. Does it say on the armor? Nope. It doesn't even tell you. That's honestly kind of... like, I can't tell if that's worse or not. So here's what it's not telling you. And this, Rax, is finally the answer to your question. I hope you're listening. Each time you New Game Plus, your armor, your powers, and your ship upgrade. Up to 6 times for your ship and 10 times for everything else. Now, to be very clear about that, the armor and the ship are automatic. All you have to do is beat the game again. In order to upgrade your powers, you have to do the whole song and dance each time. That is 24 temples per playthrough, or 240 playthroughs total. Now here's the problem. This armor is actually kind of crap. compared to general armor of the level that you will be at when you get this armor. And your ship is actually absolute crap compared to the kind of ships you'll be fighting at the level you're at when you get this. The game is structured and designed in such a way to encourage you to New Game Plus it multiple times. The 10 times being the generally accepted norm, because everything kind of stops scaling at the 10th New Game Plus. At that point, you can keep New Game Plusing, but there's no additional benefits for doing so. Now, that's already bonkers in several ways. Could have worked in a good game. Like, I could see that working in a good game. Really quick, thank you, Dream Whisperer, very, very much. Apologies. Moving on. But in case you missed it, every time you New Game Plus, it etch-a-sketches the world. The game wants you to New Game Plus. The game is designed to benefit you and push you to New Game Plusing multiple times. And again, it stops scaling properly as of the 10th iteration. Yes, my niece?
Can you open this? It's so hard for me to open.
Yeah, I am in the middle of something, so I need you to go back upstairs when I open this, okay? Okay?
Open.
It is very hard to open. Might have to ask Baba or Mama on this one, but let's see if I can get this.
Well, Mama can't do this.
Why not?
Because it was locked up.
I don't think I can do this. So I'm afraid you are probably going to have to ask Mama on this one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby bear. Now, will you do me a favor and go upstairs so you don't hear your uncle yelling at a bad game? I'll carry you upstairs if I have to. I'll carry you while shaking you.
I think you have to get this part because it's really hard for me to get that part.
Come on. Up we get. Ah.
Well, then can you?
No, I can't open it. I can't feel it. So, the game is structured and designed to get a sub from Sakage, immediately interrupt me again. There are other endings, Ikeclaw? Remember, Sakage, you can pick 3 things, not just one. But either way, thank you so much, Sakage, for 6 years of support. Always appreciate, thank you. I'll put at least one of those towards FF16. You got it, Sakage. Thank you again. So, the game is designed and pushes and encourages you to replay it. There is a New Game Plus, which by default already pushes you to replay in the game. And the game rewards you for it, but also, this is really strange, kind of penalizes you for not New Game Plusing enough. Like I said, your overall power output goes down when you do the first New Game Plus. And then you have to kind of earn it back upon multiple repeat New Game Pluses in order to get to the point where you're caught back up. All of this is already what I would call bad. That's before we consider the fact that New Game Plus carries forward way too little. So that's 2 dings immediately. But the third ding is the thing I noticed nobody else is talking about. This is a BRPG. This is a BRPG where there's tons and tons and tons of content. Too much content, actually. There are primary optional chains, there are character quests, romance arcs, secondary stuff you can do. There is a lot of content in this game. And they want you to beat the game 10 times in order to start your real playthrough. The one where you do everything. They want you to beeline the MSQ multiple times and then go actually play the game. Even if that extra content was good, which to be clear, most of it is not, the mere structure of that is awful to me. This is the final thing. This is something I've mentioned this a few times. This is something that was spoiled for me quite a bit, quite early on, actually. Because, as I mentioned, people are like, hey, New Game Plus is in the game, and each time you go back through the loop, it buffs your armor and buffs your ship up to 10 times. And the moment I heard that, I realized what they were going for. Now, you could very strongly argue that that's not mandated. And you're right, it's not mandated. And that's the only reason this isn't more negatives. If they mandated you having to go through this game 10 times, then doing the side content, that's bonkers. But the fact that they actively, strongly encourage it, by the very design systems that are in place in the game, is insane. Oh, and that's another thing. They encourage you to do the MSQ first. I feel stupid for even trying to explain this, but you don't do the MSQ first in games like these. You know why? Because when you finish the MSQ, the game's over. When you do the Hoover Dam battle, the game ends. Right? Now, I know that's not universally true, but the point is, MSQ, by its very nature in these kind of games, has always been the thing you do last. That's not just a me thing. That's not even just like a presumption thing. That is a structural thing. Yeah, in the original Fallout 3, when you finish the MSQ, spoilers, your character dies. They patched that out because of the outrage over it. This is also true in other games of similar style, so other pseudo-open games, like, say, Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. Hell, Witcher 3, which is actually a CRPG, but still, when you finish the MSQ, the game does allow you to kind of keep going, but the game's functionally over at that point. And honestly, that's true in a lot of games like this. And the fact that they want you to beeline first multiple times? You know what? Cyberpunk is actually a better example. Cyberpunk is another one where if you beat the game is over. Now, I'm not trying to say this is some universal truth. It's just the structure of all of these games is almost always inclined that way. I got another example for you. Baldur's Gate 3. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 is straight up CRPG. However, not only does the game end when you beat the game, but the game acknowledges the stuff you do in the game during the MSQ. The game is structured in such a way that there is a benefit to doing the side stuff first, and that's not unusual. In FF6, do you beeline Kefka's Tower first, or do you go do the World of Ruin? In Chrono Trigger, I'm going to stop here. You get my overall point. This is normal across CRPGs, BRPGs, and JRPGs. You do the side stuff first. Yeah, it's default. It is default. Mass Effect. Dragon Age. Hey, look, it's all stuttery again. Yeah, do you go after the ultimate weapon in FF7, or do you dive into the crater immediately? Sorry, I got some chocobos to race. Yeah, Majora's Mask, that's not even an RPG, and it is still a fantastic example of this. Several days ago, someone in chat mentioned that there were stuff that was unlocked behind the MSQ. And I had like a brief verbal reaction to that, and then I shut up. You remember that? That's because I already knew about the New Game Plus thing at that point in time. And I was just like... Because at the time, I decided to chew on that for a bit. To decide, is it really me? Am I the asshole? Am I the Rick Berman here? Am I the moron who thinks that locking gameplay mechanics behind MSQ is incorrect when it comes to this type of game? No, I'm still firm on that opinion. This is bonkers design. And to be clear, the fact that it's different is not the problem. It's the fact that it's wrong. Different is not inherently better. Different is not inherently good. Different is different. So. Yeah, that's not like you unlock... When do you unlock your first shout in Skyrim? Let's do a direct comparison, shall we? 1-to-1. When do you unlock your first shout? Okay, valid, Colgrim. But the point is, intro, town, dungeon. It's right up front. And you know what? That's valid and appropriate and fits. It is still entirely possible to skip that. It is. Like, because as soon as you get out of the intro, you know, the gates are off, right? And you go run in whatever direction. But I think it's a lot more appropriate, and I will not ding Skyrim for that, because they shove it so far forward that they've effectively done their due diligence to ensure that you have a high chance of getting that gameplay mechanic relatively early on in your playthrough. Yeah, exactly, Rex. There's a lot of different systems that kind of push you to Whiterun right off the bat, right up front. Shouting is still stupid, but stupid or not, I would have dinged Skyrim if it pulled this crap. Also true, Blade Taval. And Meatfist is quite correct. You're right. You could just stumble into other words. Just from exploring. Just from playing the game. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know someone who did that now that you say that. Yeah, it's another thing. You can also build towards specific shouts. Unlike in this game where it's like, oh, where's the Omega shout? I'd love to find that so I could try it out. Oh, the answer is random. Location, random. Yeah, you know what? What would you rather fight in a game? The Starborn or dragons? I need to be very clear about this, by the way. Because I don't consider Skyrim to be a particularly good game. That's why I keep using Skyrim as the example. I could bring down the hammer on this game and actually talk about really, really good games. I've done that before. In fact, I've done that during this playthrough. But I keep using Skyrim as the example because I think Skyrim's actually just kind of average game. And it does a lot of things wrong. But it still beats the pants off of this game. Yeah, if I was to compare this to New Vegas, well, then we just beat the brakes off of it. Oh no, we're technically an alien now, yeah. I agree with that, Meatfist. I know several people who never played Dragonborn, the second expansion to Skyrim. And I don't blame them, because Skyrim. But the thing is, Dragonborn was legit. So I'm double-checking something really quick. All right, so... No, I know, Solar Cat. I've done a decent amount of research on this game at this point in time. I am reasonably certain of my opinion of how it is and why it is and what it is. And I would say with near total certainty that this is a game that off and on took over 20 years to make. And yes, that is an insult. Yeah, no, this absolutely was a passion project.
Wish that bartender...
And that's a problem.
Stop complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back by annoying us.
Hang on, Czar. Why do you have double entries? What did you do, Czar? What did you do? Well, we'll just delete the other one. Boop. Reminder, you know, I actually put a data reminder in the spreadsheet that you do not have to add yourself, because, you know, I don't delete the names other than the one purge we already did. So, like... Please do not double up on your names. Please. Please, please, please. We'll double check to make sure there's no other duplicate names really quick. Okay, we're good. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, Czar. Ah, nice, von Falkenstein. Yeah, that's another game I've been constantly comparing this game to. Fallout 4. Now, I was pretty harsh on Fallout 4. Although, actually, not as harsh as most people were. Because I still think Fallout 4 is a net positive game. And I do. I stand by that opinion. But, like, Fallout 4, for as much as that game fumbled, just crushes this game. And that's sort of pathetic, honestly.
Excuse me, this is a private... Wait. There's something familiar about you. Vasco, identify.
Scanning. Cross-referencing known employee record. This appears to be the miner from Argos Extractors. Lost as we were carrying the artifact from Vectera. Current whereabouts, previously unknown.
I see. Vasco already delivered the artifact. So, why are you showing up now?
So, this is what I wanted to show off. Skip main quest.
I see. So some of our theories about the artifacts are correct.
You're taking their word for it? What if this person's just delusional? Breathed in too many gases in that mining operation.
Why don't we hear him out? We know next to nothing. We have everything to gain if he's telling the truth.
All right, let's hear it.
Now, this would be a good time for a fade to black, but no, here we are. Anyways, yeah, I've already done this game. Oh, there is a fade. Holy crap. Oh my god.
So, that's what we're looking for. The pieces to an armillary. A path to the center of a multiverse.
This is either the truth or the most elaborate practical joke I've ever witnessed.
I think we're past the point of doubting, Walter.
In any event, we'll be able to see for ourselves. We know where most of the artifacts are now, and presumably how we get them.
Yeah, in the end, the power of Unity is mine.
And if what you've told us about the Starborn is to be believed, we'll need all the help we can get. I want you to check with Vladimir on the Eye. Cross-reference what you've told us with what he's picking up on the scans. You track down the artifacts the Eye finds, while we gather the others.
Good to see you again, old friend.
I hope that other Sarah of yours knows you're safe. Now let's get those artifacts.
And now we just have a quest to go get all the artifacts. So yeah, you can kind of beeline a little bit. But this is the really, really messed up thing. This is yet another aspect of them trying to shove you to New Game Plusing multiple times, which I've already mentioned. So they really... Oh, God. I need to go talk to my parents. But yeah, no, I'm going to leave my mortgage here. Someone else's problem now. But yeah, so they allow you to kind of really beeline the MSQ, and you still have to do several dungeons and quests. You have to choose between the two sides, and there's still a decent chunk of it. But you'll notice there's two big things here. First of all, there are possible variances in the MSQ on a New Game Plus. Different dialogue, different options, different character interactions, different character quests, different character paths. If you hit the skip button, you can't do any of that. All of that is... Well, I shouldn't say any of it. Most of that. A huge chunk of that is locked behind actually doing the MSQ again. But that makes sense, because they want you to do it again the 10th time. They want you to actually play through the game the 10th, or I guess, excuse me, the 11th time through. They want you to beeline and just speed run the MSQ the first 10 times, then you go do it. But that's the other thing. And Mead Fist, it just hits the nail on the head here. The thing that they force you to do is some of the worst content in the game, which is the goddamn temples. Which, for those of you who haven't been present, let me remind you exactly what a temple interaction is like. So first you go to Vladimir, you say, hey. And he says, hey. And it's like a generic line. There's no additional dialogue, there's no character, there's no nothing. It's just, I found a new settlement on your map. He gives you a randomly generated location. You go to the randomly generated location, which is several load screens. You land on the planet, unskippable cutscene. You're probably scanned on the way, unskippable cutscene. You get out, you walk out, you walk for several minutes slowly on the planet because screw you. Get inside the temple, and then you go through the star things. Reminder, you only need to go through a few star things. It actually doesn't take that many, but it sometimes feels like it takes longer. And that's because, and I pointed this out yesterday, those star things are either bugged or deliberately designed to be padded because some of them literally do not count. And in case you missed this, to clarify this, so when you go to the temple, there's this little no gravity thing, and you just go and you fly through these patterns. It's slow, it's boring, it's dumb, but each one of them, again, either due to bug or design, we don't know, does not necessarily trigger the flag for having gotten it, and you need to get X amount in order to unlock the temple. So you could, I've actually done this on camera. There's one where I only needed like 3, and then there was one where I got up to like 10. Also, they really want you, I have no idea, to quite. They really, really want you to, they want you to do each temple, each playthrough. There are 24 of them. They want you to do 10 playthroughs. Basic math. Then you can start playing the game. In a truly good game, I would still probably dig this, to be honest with you. This is still what I consider to be bad design. Even if the game was worth it, even if this was New Vegas, right? Probably the best BRPG ever made. And the only reason I say probably is because I haven't reviewed it yet. Even if this was New Vegas, beelining the MSQ 10 times to get access to all the stuff and unlock all the things and doing all the temples 240 times in order to get to and then enjoy the main quest and the side quests and all that fun stuff, that still would be the kind of thing I would ding. And that is Starfield in a nutshell.
Criticism of you, but welcome aboard.
Thanks, Quart. Like, Lord knows, speaking as a defender of FF14, it gets better after 100 hours is something I've legitimately said about many games. Far too many games. But I don't think that really applies here. Very true, Esmira Star. There's plenty of good stuff in ARR. ARR's biggest problem is it's mostly bland and padded, not actually bad. High Anguished One. All right. Let's do the audit. We're about to find out, Star Wars. Please be patient with me. I want to be thorough with the audit. I don't want to miss anything. So this might take me a minute. I already did the preliminary audit this morning. So all we have to do is the sheet audit. I don't know what I could put up there. That wouldn't get me immediately copy wronged, my kimono. It's functionally 6. Oh yeah, my kimono. It's actually one of the biggest things I tend to get copy wronged on. I mean, the audio captures whatever, but ugh. Probably not Final Clash Kick, no. Oh, that was always a joke, Solar Cat Plasma. BFA Wenlock, believe it or not. BFA made many mistakes, but music and visuals were not one of them. Yeah, no, the players were absolutely trolling. No way. Quite frankly, Mr. Red, no. Even with the terrible resolution of the textures back in Vanilla and BC, well, Vanilla and BC still look good. They don't look as good. They haven't aged as well, but there's still design, there's still color choice, there's still distinction, there's still meshing. Like, there's still a good design team putting out the best they can, you know? Like I said earlier, Warcraft 3 looks good now. So, yeah, no, WoW's always looked good. I mean, Nagrand. Am I right, Asmiristar? Or Another Storm. Or Hellfire, my personal favorite. It takes some design to make a blasted red hellscape actually look good, but they managed it. Oh man, Shadow Moon. Proper Shadow Moon. Ooh. I'd have to really think about my favorite zone purely visually in a while, because that's hard, you know? That is inches amongst miles. Ardenweald would be up there, I think. Ardenweald is just straight gorgeous. And interesting, too, in addition to that. Amir Dracel, you know, is just, yeah, I agree completely on that. Well, I hope the new meds do a lot better, Braveman. Because if they don't... Yeah, the dream is just... Oh. Well, that's WoW in a nutshell, Act. All the login songs are like this. Oh, absolutely Solar Cap Plasma. Oh, I meant to ask you, how'd the chili end up? But I guess you just answered that. So what went wrong with the turkey meat? I could see that. I'm actually not a big fan of turkey meat in general. I can already kind of, like, imagine what you mean by that. I'm sorry. I just happened to glance down the spreadsheet at the outro column. And obviously I'm looking at the RPGs, because that's what we're covering right now is Starfield. And I notice... You know, Diablo 2, 2 negatives to outro. Diablo 3, 1 negative to outro. Mass Effect 1, 3 negatives to outro. Mass Effect 2, 2 negatives to outro. Mass Effect 3, 13 negatives to outro. Dragon Age Origins, 3 negatives to outro. Dragon Age 2, 3 negatives to outro. There are so many negatives in the outro column. It's actually really funny. We talked about that before. Most games stumble at the ending. It is the exceptions that manage to nail it. It was very gradual, Yura. Like a slow descent into hell. The plot column is hysterical. Lots of positives and lots of negatives in most of the RPGs. Well, part of the problem I had, and again, I am practiced at this, but I try not to go with my gut reaction to games. It's too easy for that to be wrong, or affected by external circumstances. If I'm in a particularly good or bad mood or whatever, that can change my gut feeling on something. So I like to chew on it more. Really process why I feel the way I do. So I took my time with Starfield to really make sure I was certain about it. And by God, I was. But I earned it. Not the whole review, no, Colbert. Why do you ask? Oh, that's funny, Colgrim. That's funny. This game sucks. 7 out of 10. That is such an IGN move. I forget what other game we actually read on camera that had exactly that thing, where it's like, this game sucks, and it's this, and it's that. It's the worst thing ever, 7 out of 10. And it's like... Was that Okami? It was semi-recent. What is 62 minus 34? Everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, negative 28 to story. And may God have mercy on your soul. God damn. I think that's going to be the worst story score we ever give a BRPG right there. I really do. I have negative thoughts about Fallout 4, about Skyrim, and about Morrowind. I don't think any of them are going to come close to that. Gameplay. Yeah, can someone do me a favor? What is negative 28 at, like, on the list? I don't want to get too distracted here. Tied with Secret of the Stars. That takes work, you know? That's impressive. That takes work. Hey guys, you want to hear a joke? Starfield. It really is, Blade Tamal. This is going to skew the BRPG average for years. Forever, probably. You know what? Hang on. I got to get this thought out before I lose it. You know what's really sad about that? For those of you who haven't watched the Starfield... excuse me. For those of you who haven't watched the Secret of the Stars review or highlight reel, first of all, I highly recommend it. It's actually a really awesome stream for a terrible, terrible game. It's one of the few I'm actually really proud of. That was a solid stream. But I'll give you a bit of a preview right now. It was a great highlight. Mr. Ray did an awesome job with that. Secret of the Stars was made by people who were bandwagoning. They had seen the success of Dragon Quest, specifically Dragon Quest III, and said, we can do that. And they ended up making an NES JRPG to try and capitalize on that. And then the SNES came out, and they hurriedly ported it over to the SNES. And they had no idea what they were doing. They'd never made a JRPG before. Many of the people involved had never made a video game before. And they were just throwing stuff at the wall. And my point is, they were like the people who were worst positioned to make a JRPG. And lo and behold, the game was garbage. Starfield was made by the core Bethesda team, the A-Team, hot off the heels of making Fallout 4. It took 8 years of development time, not counting pre-production work, in their prime, for lack of a better way to put this. That's... yeah, our best dev team, Bethesda's best dev team, took 8 years to make Secret of the Stars. By the way, Fallout 76 has been slowly improved into a substantially better game than it was. By the way, that's their B team. That's another thing. Starfield has got the Starfield devs have gotten very Mass Effect 3E about how much they've been defending Starfield's quality. You know what I mean, right? This is your fault. How dare you not like this? Whoever's been doing the Steam responses, Meat Fist. Whoever's been part of that particular team. Hey, Shiny Toki. An AI. I mean... oh, and Howard himself. Excuse me, that is true. I hope the move went well, Shiny Toki. This is Night Song from World of Warcraft Cataclysm. Plays on the Battle of Hyjal, or excuse me, it plays in Hyjal, not the Battle of Hyjal, different place, and in Ashenvale. If you really want to, Colgrim. Jesus, Shiny Toki. Reminds me of when I was moving east, and I nearly died, actually. Nearly ran right off a bridge. I was just that tired. Fortunately, I was on the phone with my sister at the time, who saw that I was about to drive off the bridge. And she was like, Lore! Lore! And I swerved, because I actually have good reflexes. But still. I think you're right, Meadfist. And that is sad. To repeat what Meadfist just said out loud, I think Bethesda, at the very least the upper head designers and upper echelons of Bethesda, do not know what they have done wrong with this game. I guarantee you, if that I sat down and said, here's what you did wrong with this game, they say, well, how's this different from Oblivion? And that would just prove how stupid they are for not understanding that. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Execution matters. Having a fighter's guild does not make it good. Oh, I hate driving through the Appalachians, Shiny Toki. And the Rockies, for that matter. Yeah, having shouts does not make this Skyrim. Probably Secret of the Stars Act. No, agreed, Cashel. What I've been saying several times this whole playthrough, and I've been doing this consistently, is I keep comparing this to previous BRPGs, going all the way back to Morrowind, and pointing out things that previous games have done better. Even the lesser quality ones like Fallout 4 and Skyrim, and frankly, Fallout 76. Because I've been trying to point out that even when they already were stumbling, even when their games were getting worse, even when they had already started slipping in quality, they still did better than this. How did they go down from this? Just the weapon mod system alone is objectively worse than it was in Fallout 4. And so is the outpost system. And so is the crafting system. That's three things, right off the top of my head, that are fundamentally worse designed than they were in a previous game. In the previous game, for that matter. Now that's an interesting question. Plutonia asks me, would I rather play 12 hours of Starfield or 12 hours of Daggerfall? Now some of you know, rather famously, or infamously I suppose, that I hate Daggerfall. Now I haven't played the Unity version, to be very clear, so original Daggerfall. I have spit venom at that game for many years. I didn't like it back then, and I liked it a lot less when I tried to go back to it. But I legitimately think I would take 12 hours of original Daggerfall over this. Yeah, exactly, Adam Suda. Loading would be a lot faster. Yeah, we just beeline the MSQ. Pick one of the factions to back. Yeah, be a vampire. You can be a vampire. Why not? I mean, I'll take the game at that point, Act. I don't want to waste the gas. You know, I gave Oblivion 2 pluses to gameplay for its intro. And I've stood by that for many years. It's actually a really solid intro. Oblivion and Fallout 3 both have surprisingly good intros. On both axes, I mean. It does have Patrick Stewart, but I was primarily talking gameplay. I admit I tend to keep a save right at the exit era. But it's still a solid intro. I wonder if Zeiss is here. What hast thou wrought, Zeiss? Honestly, real question, please be honest with me, guys. How many of you thought it was going to be this bad walking into this? For the record, I absolutely was not one of those people. I figured this would be pretty mid. I was honestly expecting about a 30-ish on the golden number. And honestly, I expected that to be an insult. But that was what I mentally had in my mind. Mentally had planned out. I was like thinking, it's getting about a little below average, right? Net positive, but not worth a replay, not worth anything. That's what I was expecting. Getting castrated in a car wreck. Ah, Secret of the Stars. Never change. Did they ever say why they wouldn't ditch the creation engine? Like, was a logic ever given for that? It just works. I mean, sunk cost. State-of-the-art engine, no need for change. Okay, so they're lying through their teeth. What I would believe is the actual reason is because they're stupid. Let me explain. Something that will happen a lot, especially in a corporate environment on a project, is they will think, well, we don't want to spend the time and money onboarding people onto a new software or a new system, so we're going to keep using the old one. Ignoring reality, right? This happens in really basic things too, like just something as simple as accounting software. Or a friend of mine worked on the programming software. You ever go into a pharmacy and there's those robots that pick out the specific pills and fill the actual bottles? The programming that works for that, he's worked on that. And that tech, the software they use for that is 20 years old. But they keep insisting, well, we don't want to learn a new system. We don't want to learn new things. So we're just going to keep, using the existing thing. And God, it causes them issues constantly. Ignoring the obvious quality stuff, it literally costs them money because they have to constantly have employees on hand to deal with the issues that show up all the time. And they don't get to bill for that because they're on the hook for that. Agreed, Dream Whisperer. It would have been a good time for a shift. Hell, Fallout 76 could have been the sacrificial lamb for a new engine. In fact, if you remember, several people thought that might have been a thing. That's an interesting question, Cashel. Let me ask a counter question. How many months do you think they spent trying to get mechs working in this game before they gave up? I sincerely doubt it, 040. If they're the only way, I've said this before, 040, the only way Core Bethesda will change is if they are forced to by an external force. And that force in this case would be Microsoft. Because they are owned by Microsoft. And if Microsoft forces them to, yeah, they will do things. They will go ahead and they will adjust. Because they are being ordered to. Thank you, Ciela, very, very much. Always. Always appreciate you. Thank you. Jotting that down for Ratchet & Clank, Thief Block, Luntra. Microsoft could do that. This is a real possibility. Microsoft has a proven record of being hands-off unless you screw up and then getting involved. They have done this recently with regards to Actiblizzard. They also did this with regards to 343. Now, they even do this with their smaller studios, too. This is normal for them. So, we'll see. Anybody else really looking forward to the what happened of this game, by the way? Because Matt McMuscles usually does his frickin' paperwork. He does his research. And I always respect him for that. I'm going to laugh if I've been right about, like, half of my predictions. Because I don't have a lot of behind-the-scenes data on this game. Just analysis. Just speculation. Yeah, exactly, Meatfist. It's really frustrating, actually. Mr. Red asked very nicely for me to greenlight the Thief blocks are. It does require mods. In fact, I actually still have the game installed, just so I don't have to deal with getting all those mods working again. It's also absolutely nowhere near funding, so who knows if that'll ever be a thing. But hey, Cord. Congrats, Cord. Hope you've been enjoying it. Have we ever given a triple negative to viscerality before? I don't know why I'm saying that out loud. I'm checking myself. Nope. We have never given that many viscerality negatives before. The closest we've ever gotten is Devil May Cry 2 and Wolfenstein Youngblood. I stand by that, by the way. I'd rather have than Oh, I know. That's unfair of me. I was using the cutter beam. At which point you're forgetting the hours and hours and hours of time I spent using every other gun in the game. I'm up to the V's, Mr. Red. I doubt it. I doubt we're going to get any more. And I'm wrong. One last negative. Yeah, also, yeah, it's a freaking minor cutting beam. It should probably feel like an ion cannon. I know what you're thinking, but it's a mining laser. Yeah, but this is a video game, and you have given me a mining laser as a weapon. Let me have fun with it, game. Let me go... Oh yeah, the contact, yeah, Dead Space actually manages this quite well. That's a good point. You know. Ladies and gentlemen, what's 96 minus 25? Also true on Falkenstein. Yeah, that's negative 71 to gameplay. This is tiring. And what's really sad, I have, you know me, I have checked and double-checked and triple-checked myself in this run dozens of times, just to make absolutely sure that I'm being as accurate and thorough as I possibly can about this review. You know me, I take this job very seriously, and I take these reviews very seriously. We talked about that earlier. And, yeah, that's bad. $34.62. $25.96. Nope, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Could someone hang on? 34 plus 62 is 96. 96. And then 96 plus 25 is 121. Those are some terrible ratios. Those are some terrible ratios. My God. No cheats. No cheat flag. Earned it. Not that cheating would have helped. The only thing, I mean, cheating would have probably sped this up, but the only cheat that would have mattered would be TCL. Hello, Evo. I am almost done with the audit. I'm going to do a few more factoids. That was Wednesday. We started this game on Valentine's Day. This is only an 11-day game. Agree. Well, there's a bunch of smaller studios that I can't even think of the names of right now, Shiny Toki, but amongst the big crowd, yeah, I'd agree with you on that. So let's figure out the all-important thing, the final number we haven't figured out. I need to calculate the hours because of how many times we've paused and how many times I've done stuff off camera, I have to tabulate One moment, please. Yeah, hey, Todd, can you be my Valentine? And Todd's answer, hey, Mr. Red, if you do a highlight reel, put this in the highlight reel. And put it, like, right after the Valentine thing from the very, very first thought, okay? Hey, Todd. I asked you to make a good game. Okay? Like, I know there was a bit of a miscommunication here. It's clearly my fault. I know you're sorry that I don't appreciate your garbage that you have vomited out onto my lap like an incontinent kitten. But I wanted you to make a game that was actually worth a goddamn. We're done! Like I said, most people I don't think were really expecting this to be what it was. Especially not me. For the record, this is our 7th longest game we've streamed that is not an MMO. And, I'll share some facts on that in a second. Hang on. I mean, to be honest with you, as much as I constantly say that any number above 0 is a good thing, it's a net positive, to be totally blunt, a game like this shouldn't aspire to be above 0. So, you know, with context for the statistic, if this game had scored what I thought it was, which would be about a 30, that would be bad. Yeah, exactly, Rex. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want the bombshell at the beginning or the end? Do you want us to open with it or lead up to it? Starfield has a negative 28 to story, tying it for the worst story score we've ever given an RPG. Games that are infamously known for having story. That is 0.4 negatives per hour and a ratio of 35%. The only reason it's that high is because of the visuals. The gameplay is negative 70 goddamn 1. That beats Breath of Fire 2. That beats Quest 64, and that beats Secret of the Stars in gameplay score. That is 1 negative per hour, which probably doesn't sound like a lot. But first of all, yes it is. And second of all, for a game this long, to be gaining a negative per hour is bonkers density. That is a ratio of 20%. Which is terrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. Sorry. None of you guys. You guys are all awesome. Except for you. Oblivion scored a 229 on the golden number. Because Oblivion, despite all the crap, and let's be clear, there's a lot of crap in Oblivion, but Oblivion still scored a 229 golden number. A solid, goddamned good game. Starfield scored a negative... Can I get a drum roll, please? Or a stab roll. Negative 207.7. This is the 6th worst game we've ever reviewed. For a bit of comparison. Yes, by the way, congrats to Fife. I actually already checked this. Let's go into Hitman 3, Mario Kart Block, and SNES Block. For a bit of perspective. Baldur's Gate 3 is a 105-hour game. Got 200, plus 200. Pokemon Shield, 93-hour game, plus 94. Elden Ring, 84-hour game, plus 54. Heroes of Might and Magic 5, 83-hour game, plus 30. Dragon Age Inquisition, 82-hour game, with cheats, negative 10. Cyberpunk, at launch, 81 hours, plus 50. Starfield, 71 hours, negative 207. In case you missed the implications there, that means Cyberpunk, which came out in a buggy, unfinished, problematic state, scored 250 better than this. 250 better than this. In case you missed that, Oblivion, a problematic, buggy, broken mess of a game designed for an Xbox that came out 20 years ago, scored 400 better than this. Thank you, Meatfist, for the sub. I do appreciate you. I haven't reviewed New Vegas. I haven't reviewed... Unfortunately, we only have a couple of BRPGs under the hood to actually do direct comparisons here. That's what the BRPG block will be. No, we started streaming it 11 days ago as Mirastar. Yakuza Kiwami 2, Cyberpunk, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what to say. You remember as we were going through, it was like, do you think this game will beat... I don't remember. Like, I forget what we started out on. This is our 20th VOD, Shiny Toki. We were like, do you think this will beat... Oh, God, what was it? It was like... Drakengard, I think is what we were aiming for. Like, do you think this will beat Drakengard? I was like, nah. Do you think this will beat King's... Nah. Do you think this will be Breath of Fire? Nah, there's no way this is as bad as Breath of Fire. No. This can't possibly be worse than Breath of Fire. Honestly, this game is in striking range of Kingsfield 4. And that's pathetic. Yeah, this game is worse than Star Trek Shattered Universe. Have you seen Star Trek Shattered Universe? This game is worse than Wolfenstein Youngblood. This game is worse than Just Cause 4. Or The Bard's Tale. Don't buy this game. That's it. I have paperwork to do. I have recovery to do. I am not going to promise to a second stream today, but that is the intent. One way or another, thank you all for joining me for all this crap. I'll see you guys.